Tyler and Norman and Freddie. I noticed, though, that Freddie did not bring the person that has the most class in the family, and that is Mrs. Freddie.
Well, believe it or not, she's at television this morning. She's just like being here. She's watching the show.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also brought I brought you some new viewers this morning.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yes.
Good.
And some of my church members and some of my friends at the tree. And you know the lady Red Ruby that called when we was at John's place and got on.
Yes, got on you. Yes.
Yes. So you're gonna have if you let your people see, you'll increase in volume of listeners and viewers this morning. And Uncle Henry, I don't want to fire your thing, but they say you could be found on Channel 12 on another cable system in town.
That's right. Well, in fact, we're on 12 here. And in fact, I'm going to need you to scoot over just a little bit in your chair. We want to make sure you're on camera. That's a little bit better, I believe. All right, so we can use all the viewers we can get on the CW55. And you, the listener, if there's ever a question you've wanted to ask Freddie, 251-479-2723 or 251-479-2723. Freddie, how long have you been calling talk shows in Mobile?
As long as you've been on it. Randy Patrick, Mr. Malone, and this gentleman, Samantha, and her husband.
Dick Scott.
Dick Scott.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we go way back.
You go way back to, what was it? Cooking with Dick and Samantha. Was that the name of the show?
That was one of the shows that Dick Scott had.
Yeah. That was a great show. Miss Morrison. I always loved Saturday mornings on WNTM.
Yeah, so Freddie, you're retired. How long have you been retired?
I left 1990, so that's had a chance to raise a young girl to a young lady. I was a house husband. Her mother worked. Her son was in school, so I'm there changing diapers and doing this.
We're learning a lot about Freddie.
How about that?
Yeah.
So you retired in 1990.
Yes.
And then you've been able to devote all that time to raising the youngster.
I'm satisfied with them. I hope they are being where they are. I just wish they would be able to come back and have a job here.
Okay.
So, Uncle Henry.
All right, we've got to take a break. When we come back, Freddie will appeal for you to hire his daughter.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Well, we aren't seeing any big problems out there as you head out the door very early on this Wednesday morning drive. The trip on I-10 crossing the Bayway through the Wallace Tunnel. The I-10 to Scambia Bay Bridge in Pensacola, and I-65 from Pritchard and Chickasaw down to the I-10. Everything's in good shape around the area, at least for the time being. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
First Alert Weather from WKRG News 5 and the Southern Cancer Center Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist John Dodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. Watch for fog in your morning commute. A dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. And it's not everywhere, but where it's showing up, it could be pretty thick. Low to mid-60s for a mild daytime high today. We stay on the mild side overnight with a low near 50. We're back in the 60s tomorrow and Friday and 70s this weekend.
I love you, Dad. I love you, Dad.
I love you.
I love all you guys.
Liar, shut up!
Must be rough, lying to your children about loving them all equally. How do you sleep at night?
Where did you come from? Who are you?
Who I am is the sports station you don't care about.
That's not true. Sometimes there's just not a lot of time.
Whatever. I've been doing sports shows for years, and you haven't even come to one of them. 99.5 The Jag. The neglected brother of News Radio 710 WNTM.
I'm sorry.
It's too late for that.
Your home for traffic and weather on the 9s every morning. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Have a cool Christmas and a far-out New Year, all you dudes and dudettes.
Message deleted.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show or watching on the CW55 this morning. John McNeil of MALFinancial.com is here. Also, Freddie, longtime talk show caller. Freddie is here, and he's brought most of his family here into the studio. 251-479-2723 is the telephone number. And we'll get to your phone calls as soon as we can. Now, Freddie, you mentioned that some of the people at the tree are going to be watching this morning or are watching. What, do you gather at a tree?
I have a little piece of property in the city, and a bunch of retired men come up. We discuss politics, baseball, and etc., and have a cold one, a hot one sometimes. So that's our little outlet.
Okay.
Are we invited to come visit the tree sometime?
You're perfectly welcome, because it's on the route when the Mardi Gras parades come through. And we got people from all over the world will come back, especially within the United States. They come and visit us.
People from around the country visit your tree.
Yes.
So what did you think about the city savagely attacking the tree for the Donald Trump rally? Did you feel poorly for the tree?
I'm not a tree hugger, Uncle Henry, but I live in a city, a part of the city where you can't even cut a bush down. So when you cut a cedar tree, you were mentioning on your show yesterday, they should get some sculpture or artist to take that cedar and make medages out of it and sell it and make money for it. You said Mr. Cooper said he's going to pay for removing the tree. You can replant that tree.
He's going to replant 3, supposedly. He cut down 1, he's going to replant 3.
So you gain a tree.
That's right.
But I'm not the tree hugger that people say they are. But what I want to tell you this morning, and if you'll go along with me, I'm going to tell the people that I know, we're going to call, if you got the telephone to our lover governor, as J.D. Crowe described him, we're going to get him to try to appoint Mr. Sandy Simpson to the job that Jeff Sessions is going to vacate.
Okay, this is a first. So Freddie wants to see Sandy Simpson, the mayor of Mobile, become our next senator. Now, why do you want the mayor to become the senator?
Because we're going to need all the influence we can have in Washington to get that bridge built, so you may want to go back to Fairhope again, and you'll have needed access to get there.
Okay, so it would be you would get rid of Sandy Simpson and me, and you get a bridge out of it. So it's a great deal.
I don't want to get rid of you. You could say at one time you had a desire to run for the mayor of the city. You got residence established in here. You've been here,
true.
And you qualified to run.
Oh, so Sandy Simpson goes to Washington, and then I can run for mayor. My way is open and clear.
Yes. But what I'm saying, if we get involved with like Mr. Strange, like can you imagine saying Senator Strange, Luther Strange, he doesn't fit that category.
Because of his name? His name, because it's strange, we don't want him to be the senator?
But he's not familiar with the area, this lower part of Alabama.
L.A.
We need a representative for the lower part of Alabama that knows what we need in this area.
Okay, look, we're gonna digest this mentally. We'll be back, radio listeners, after the traffic and weather. TV viewers back in 2 minutes as we get the political strategies of longtime talk show caller Freddie here with John McNeil on the Uncle Henry Show.
Rush.
I'm a defender.
Defender of conservatism.
I defend the things, traditions, institutions, people that I value and hold dear.
Today, 11 to 2.
It's exactly what I do.
On News Radio 710, WNTM.
This is Uncle Henry. I'm here with Virginia McNeil of McNeil Aaron's Lambert Financial Group. Virginia, there are a lot of family businesses in Mobile, but what does it mean to you personally to be the 4th generation in your family to work at MAL Financial and work with your dad, John, every day?
Well, Uncle Henry, it's just great. I get to go to work every day and help somebody in some way, just like the 4 generations of McNeils have done for the past 93 years. It means a lot when I meet a client and they have gotten to work with my grandfather and my dad and are excited to work with me now too. That means we have never disappointed those people, and that is something you can only achieve with honesty and integrity.
For over 90 years, the professionals at McNeil Aaron's Lambert have been helping their clients with their personal estate and retirement planning. Give them a call at 666-5000. That's 666-5000. Or visit the website, malfinancial.com.
And in Virginia are investment advisor representatives of Global Financial Private Capital. Investment advisory services offered through Global Financial Private Capital, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Not available in all states.
Hey, you two.
Recent Irvy's Froyo robot. Diane and I became franchisees last month.
And couldn't be happier. It serves premier frozen yogurt creations to customers in 60 seconds. And the yogurt is delicious.
Yep, our customers absolutely love it. That's it over there.
Whoa, that's incredible. People really do love your Froyo robot. So, you own this?
Sure do. Reese and Irvy's Froyo robots are available across the country, and it's super easy. Reese and Irvy's provided us with everything we needed. They even help you secure amazing locations. Movie theaters, grocery stores, college campuses, theme parks. They make any location a sensation.
And everyone loves frozen yogurt. That's incredible. How do I get a Froyo robot of my own?
You just go to froyorobots.com and enter promo code 9494. But hurry, because locations and robots are going fast.
Froyo...
Yeah, froyorobots.com. Promo code 9494.
Hey, if you're looking for a And we're back here on the CW55, the Uncle Henry Show, here with John McNeil, malfinancial.com. And Freddie, longtime talk show caller Freddie, he's brought his family in today. A wonderful assemblage of family and friends for the Christmas season. The radio listeners are still hearing important information about where to go see a chiropractor. We'll rejoin radio here in just a moment. Callers, hang on. We'll get to your calls when we go back on the radio. Let's see. We did have, and again, Freddie did bring his water bill, a copy for me and a copy for John McNeil, because when they go unpaid, you get lots of copies, several a year, so they can be passed out. So, in fact, I might get you to sign mine, Freddie, and then I'll get it framed for my office.
I would be glad to do that.
We'll block out the account number and all the pertinent information. I can have it as a memento of your visit here to the Uncle Henry Show. So before we go back to the phones, you were saying that we need the bridge so bad that we should send Standy Simpson to be our senator.
Yes.
Now, who would be mayor then?
You could be mayor.
Well, I don't care to be mayor. I've noticed that people like to blame local officials for everything. So who else could be mayor?
Well, it'll be we got a new man coming in as the president of the United States. Never served in politics before.
Right.
Let it be somebody new. We need you need to drain the swamps in the city, in the state, whatever. It's a new trend going around, so whoever, maybe my son would come back and run. Maybe my daughter would be able to run. But let it know that it's not a lock job for anyone.
You know, when Mayor Stimson took over as mayor and has done a superb job, in my opinion, he was never been in politics.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's done a fantastic job by all accounts.
Well, why not elevate him to a position where one of our locals has given it up to go further and let him feel that. You get somebody from northern Alabama. What's the guy that said that he didn't...
Lowell Barron of Fife.
Yes.
He did not care about us on the coast.
That's right.
But that's what you run into. You lose your connection for the city, for the area. I'm surprised the Republican Party hadn't thrown his name in the mix anyway.
I'm sure his name's been rolled around.
All right, stand by. We're about to go back to radio.
On News Radio 710, WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening. John McNeil is here, and we've got Freddie and his family, longtime caller Freddie, coming in early on the Uncle Henry Show with his family. And we do have callers waiting to talk with Freddie. Bert, good morning, Bert.
Let's see if I got all this right. Good morning, Uncle Henry, Ariel, John, Freddie, Skylar, and Norman.
You got it all right.
That's right.
Good morning to you, Bert.
Norman, do you still maintain a residence in Seattle?
He can't hear that.
Norman, you're still in Seattle?
I am. Yep, I'm here for the holidays. And my sister's graduation.
Oh, okay. Well, back in the 80s, I lived in Seattle for a little while. all summer long, I remember not one time did I say, dang, it's hot. I want to go inside and turn on the air conditioner. I'm not even sure they have air conditioners there. I can't remember seeing one. There ain't no need for them. And my band opened up for Jan and Dean at the Bumbershoot Festival.
Oh, nice.
And we played some gigs on Vashon and Whidbey Island, and I remember having only one complaint about the ferry rides to get to the islands. They weren't long enough. I don't think there was such a thing.
Wait a second, Bert.
I wish
Bert,
they had camera phones.
did you say you opened for Jan and Dean?
Yes, we did.
From the same era as the Beach Boys?
Yes.
I didn't know they were still alive. John McNeil, you remember them?
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah. Well, he said that was back in the 80s when he lived in Seattle.
Yeah, but Jan and Dean, one of them was seriously hurt in an automobile accident. Are you sure? Was one of them a fake Jan or a fake Dean?
No, he had a very long recovery, Uncle Henry.
Okay,
but
all right.
He was still able to get on stage.
All right, I'm sorry to have interrupted. Please continue with Norman and Freddie.
Anyways, I really enjoyed Seattle. If I was rich, if I was as rich as Trump, let's say, I'd have a summer home in Seattle.
Nice.
I really loved it, and I would like to get your impressions of it, Norman.
Well, I love it. I run for office there twice now, and so I've been there 13 years, and it's a booming city. And the most exciting part about Seattle for me is that I've run into 17 people in my 13 years that are from Mobile that I didn't know while I was here. And so Seattle's a city that attracts people from all over the world with the companies that are there, Starbucks, Microsoft, Amazon is gobbling up the entire city. So it's pretty fascinating to watch. And we have been warm the last 5 years, so at night even. And so air conditioning has been needed. And people have been desperate those 3 days out of the year where it gets above 90.
It's global warming, Uncle Henry.
Look, I was afraid to mention that.
Well, best of luck in your next run for office if you decide to try it again.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you very much for your phone call, Bert. So, Norman, what is the when people find out that you're Norman from Alabama? What kind of conversations does that start in Seattle, Washington?
Well, it's similar to conversations. I've lived in the Midwest for 10 years, went to school at Michigan. Folks are like, well, what was it like growing up in the South, thinking that I have huge horror stories. But I love growing up in Mobile. It's a great city. We have great social components to the city. The trees are, I'm a tree hugger. My dad's not. But I am. And so I love all the beautiful trees. You mentioned yesterday that the pink stripe down the streets of Mobile.
The Azalea Trail, yeah.
The Azalea Trail is missing. I remember the Azalea Trail growing up. The America's Junior Miss Pageant. We had a lot going for us. It was a vibrant city then when more people were fixated and concentrated downtown. So I like that. I love telling people about Mobile. During the tanker deal, when Boeing and Airbus were fighting each
right,
other.
Because you were in Seattle and
I
where
was
Boeing
in Seattle,
was.
Yep, and everybody wanted Seattle or Boeing to get it. I wanted Airbus to get it because Boeing had a lot of stuff already. And I knew the Airbus thing would go to Mobile and would help Mobile.
Now, you're wearing a bow tie today, which is a very controversial neckwear in Mobile. Is it more prevalent in Seattle? Is that more of a West Coast neckwear?
It is a little bit more prevalent, but I got this bow tie in Virginia where I went to college.
Okay, all right.
It's a W&L bow tie.
Yeah, there you go. See, I've got some friends who are W&L graduates, and they most often wear the bow tie. Very traditional.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not educated enough to wear a bow tie.
Well, you have a very nice Christmas tie, Uncle Henry. And
I
very
do.
nice buttons. You've got Virginia Gray and me and
that's right,
Jalen Hurts.
I've got the correct buttons for the correct day. All right. Well, hey, Bert, thank you for intersecting your life with the life of Norman, son of Freddie. Freddie, did you talk politics a lot with Norman and Skylar as they were coming up?
We talk no politician issues at all.
What?
No.
So you would get off the talk shows and leave all of that on the talk show and never bring the talk show into your living room?
That's true. That's why you have a happy marriage.
Okay, so no politics in the house, but at the tree, there's politics at the tree.
24/7, day and
24/7. Have you now? Is the tree on a parade route? Is that what you've told me?
Yes, it is.
Okay, So
But now the tree is a bunch of gentlemen. Christmas time, we give turkeys to Salvation, Penelope House, McDonald House. We help the neighborhood. We watch this for the older people in the neighborhood, and they like to have us there.
Mm-hmm. Freddie has invited me to broadcast from the tree.
I think it would be a great idea.
I've got to figure out how to do the logistics. You know how we broadcast, we plug into the internet.
Right.
So I've got to figure out how to do that from the tree.
That's what cell phones are for.
Bring that truck you had on that tow truck and bring it up there.
Okay,
and
well,
do it.
we'll get the tow truck and the truck and a generator and have a complete show from the tree. All right, we're going to stand by. We're going to go into a break here. Radio listeners, you're going to get lots of information here. TV viewers will be back in a couple of minutes. We haven't checked in with Ariel yet, and I think she's wearing the antlers today.
John, he
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
According to the first Bloomberg national poll conducted after Donald Trump's election, 37% of Americans think the country is headed in the right direction. Now, that number may seem low, but it's actually at its highest level in 4 years. The same poll shows that 55% of Americans are more optimistic about a Trump presidency because of his actions and statements since the November election, and with good reason. Remember, he saved 1,000 jobs at Carrier that were headed to Mexico, and he also announced the Japanese company SoftBank would invest $50 billion into the U.S., creating 50,000 jobs. Now, according to CNBC, the CEO of United States Steel would like to accelerate their investments in the U.S. They want to hire up to 10,000 more people now that Trump will be president. Sounds to me like Trump is keeping his promise. America hopefully will be great again.
The Sean Hannity Show, from coast to coast, later today.
Hey, moms, I got a message for you out there. We all know this is the time of year when everyone gets together to celebrate the holidays, but you're the one that's running around so much you have hardly any time to enjoy it. So make sure you set aside at least 30 minutes, family time that you can really actually enjoy. And then gather everyone around the table and play a game. It's my favorite game. I love to play it. It's called the Wits and Wagers Party Game. Now, there's no game that brings your family together like Wits and Wagers. You open the box, people start gathering around the table. Next thing you know, what was once a quiet room with everybody on their gadgets and phones, well, that turns into a room filled with cheers and laughter, and you're creating family memories. And, Mom, you're going to love it. So give the gift that we love. It's called Wits and Wagers, a huge hit. You'll find it everywhere. I know you can get it at Target, Toys R Us, Barnes &
And we're back. We're back on the Uncle Henry Show here on the CW55. Dare to defy, dare to live your life on the CW55. The radio listener is still listening to, right now they're getting the traffic, the weather, news. We'll rejoin radio here in a few minutes with John McNeil of MALFinancial.com and the Freddie family. Haven't checked in yet with Ariel, the video producer and call screener and host on 100.3 The Beat, thebeatofmobile.com. Ariel, you've heard the conversation this morning about life in Mobile and Seattle. Ariel, have you thought about relocating to somewhere like Seattle?
I've thought about relocating. I don't know if I thought about Seattle, other than, occasionally when I watch Frasier, but, I really haven't thought about relocating to Seattle.
Or any
dress today, Ariel. That really looks good. You're very festive looking.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is something. All right. Well, so you have thought about relocating to somewhere other than Seattle?
Absolutely.
Like, where would you like to live?
I have honestly been thinking Los Angeles. It just seems like a great place to live.
Los
Always
Angeles.
sunny and 70.
Okay. Now, Norman, why Seattle? Why not somewhere else on the West Coast?
Well, Seattle for me was a chance to get another job 13 years ago at Alaska Airlines. So out of business school, I worked for Northwest Airlines in Minneapolis.
So you followed the job?
I followed the job out there.
Okay.
And then I stayed
okay.
after that job. And now I'm a headhunter there. So I love it.
That's what Freddie was referring to. You raise your children here in Mobile, and you would hope
They would stay.
They would be able to stay.
Yes.
Because, like Norman was saying, he would love growing up here, probably love to be here, raise a family here like you did, and hopefully with an Alabama degree, as opposed to a W&L degree, it may be easier.
Well, now, you see how blessed you are. You had your family that build a situation where you could remain, take over and continue. And it just, for some of the people in the city, they don't have that opportunity. They got to go and find places where they fit in and pay them a decent salary.
It is. I've got one of my children who was in the Marine Corps, retired out of the Marine Corps, and he works down in Panama, down in Central America. Great job, but can't get paid as much as if he was here in Mobile on the waterfront. He works on the canal down there on the waterfront, and being an expat gets, it's a very nice job. But he followed the job. Now his desire is to, take that international experience and bring it back to Mobile, hopefully one day.
But just imagine the talent is in this city.
Yeah.
We had it in sports. We got it in education. There was a young man that graduated with her from the University of Alabama, 21 years old with his doctorate degree.
I was trying for that, Uncle Henry.
I know you started out as a medical student.
Right. Well, I was in pre-med, twice, but that didn't work out. I'm glad it didn't.
Well, we are now getting industry loading into Mobile, so there may be opportunities for people to stay that weren't able to stay years ago.
My son and I, when we was driving back from Tuscaloosa, he didn't feel pleasant about all of the chemical companies coming to town. Are we attracting the kind of business that would be good for the environment in this city?
Well, it looks is building planes isn't bad for the environment, is it?
No, probably talking about up in the McIntosh area,
yes.
up on the the riverfront up there. We've got a lot of chemical companies.
Yep, and polluting the delta.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I just wear thicker boots and a mask, and I'm good. All right,
You see, Norman, what we have to put up with? I mean,
well, you're talking about all these great opportunities and leaving the city. No one else will hire me other than the station right here. So I'm here whether I like it or not. I've decided to like it.
Yes.
I've decided to like it.
Did you walk Gertie this morning?
I sure did.
I felt for you this morning. I know yesterday was a mean day to have your dog out walking.
Look, you want the dog to do what it does outside. So you go out, whatever the conditions are, you go out.
But it wasn't one of the most pleasant days for you and Gertie to be out.
No, it wasn't. But we may do. We may do.
But Uncle Henry, while we are speaking, I think J.D. Crowe will try to call you this morning because he's a very interesting character, and his character too in the papers is I enjoy looking at him and reading his column and opinion on what's going on in the city and the state.
Well, we always love to hear from J.D. Crowe. So if J.D. Crowe decides to call in about your water bill or any other issue, he can do so at 251-479-2723 or 251-479-2723. We're about to go back to the radio listeners in less than 1 minute here on the CW55. Want to mention that tonight on the CW55, they've got another episode of Terry Crews Saves Christmas, where this guy goes in and helps people with designers and food experts throw a big party. That's from 7 to 8. And then at 8 o'clock, it's a rerun of Arrow. Arrow's about a guy that shoots arrows. Have you ever watched that show, Freddie?
I'm not up that time of night.
Okay, me either. Welcome back, listener, here on the Uncle Henry Show. Here with John McNeil and Freddie's family. 479-2723 is the telephone number. Let me go into the Uncle Henry Show email inbox. I've got an email. We've got our first email of the morning. Subject line on the email is, "We finally get to see Freddie." The email reads, "It is great to finally get to see Freddie. He is a very handsome man. And what a good-looking family.
Thank you.
Wish Mrs. Freddie would have come. Remember, behind every good man is a great woman. Merry Christmas to all on the Uncle Henry Show. And that email from Donna D., who's watching in Sims, Alabama. So Sims, Alabama. Thank you, Donna D. Very excited to reach Sims, Alabama with the Uncle Henry Show.
Have you heard from our listener, Uncle Henry, what's the name of that little place over there in Florida?
Shamuckla?
Shamuckla.
Yes. Amy in Shamuckla, she was watching yesterday.
Okay, good.
And contacted the show yesterday.
Yeah, usually she's on Facebook. She pops up there.
Yeah, she's not there yet today. Let me go back into the email inbox. Subject line on the email is hair.
I think I know where this is going.
Email reads, Unc, looks like the common theme of the morning is hair or lack thereof.
Whoa. I'm sitting here. He must be seeing my back of my head.
Very impressed with Freddie. He is not like Freddy Krueger, as you have suggested. Roll Tide Roll, and that email from 1L. I don't know that we've ever suggested that Freddie is like Freddy Krueger. There have been some callers that have been very frustrated with Freddie's comments over the years. And I think, Freddie, don't you enjoy frustrating people sometimes when you call in?
Not really. It's just if you walk softly, and you step on your toe, you scream the loudest. So it's just a matter of opinion.
Okay, it is. You're right. It is a matter of opinion, and everybody has one. But 1L, thank you for watching the Uncle Henry Show on the CW55. Freddie, when was the first time you called a talk show? Was it in 1990 when you retired, or was it before then?
It was before then. I told you, Mr. Dick Scott, when was he on? He was on in the 70s, wasn't it? 80s?
Well, I know that you mentioned Randy Patrick. Randy Patrick was on in the 80s, probably 1980 or maybe a little bit before.
You're not talking about Stutterstrom, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So even before then, so the 1970s was your first foray into talk radio.
Yes. You know the gentleman that owned the WBB. I lived in his neighborhood, and I always was go by Bernie Dittman.
Yeah.
So I go back to radio.
Okay. Were you friends with Bernie Dittman?
Oh yes, he was a good tennis player.
Okay. Yes, he was. He played tennis for many, many decades. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Idell Hamptonson wants to know the email address. It's unclehenry@gmail.com. unclehenry@gmail.com, Idell. Would love to get your email, and we'll be back in just a moment on the Uncle Henry Show.
Traffic from the Dean McCrary Audi Traffic Center.
Today may be the first day of winter, but it's also yet another day of fog. Widespread fog throughout the area has led to a dense fog advisory in effect until 9 o'clock this morning. You do have some areas where visibility appears to be about a quarter mile or less. There's not a lot of that, though. It is widespread and may affect your drive a little bit this morning, but checking our camera shots across the Bayway, very little impact there. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. When Marlon Shirley was 5, he lost his foot. Today, as the world's fastest amputee, he runs the 100 meters in less time than it takes to listen to this. Overcome it. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life.
First alert weather from WKRG News 5 and the Chemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist John Dodar with the News 5 First Alert Storm Team. Watch for fog in your morning commute. A dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. And it's not everywhere, but where it's showing up, it could be pretty thick. Low to mid-60s for a mild daytime high today. We stay on the mild side overnight with a low near 50. We're back in the 60s tomorrow and Friday and 70s this weekend.
Never miss a riff. TK 101, the rock station.
Your home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
From 710 a.m. radio station and Uncle Henry, we wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas and a happy new year. Happy holidays to you, and I'm the I Love Hillary Clinton guy. Merry Christmas.
Message deleted.
Uncle Henry Show continues. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on the CW55. John McNeil is here, malfinancial.com. Roll Tide, roll, John McNeil. And Freddie is here with his family. He brought Norman and Skylar. So not only it's a chance for you to tune in and watch Freddie and also see his family and learn about the life and times of longtime talk show caller Freddie. Freddie, do you have any Christmas traditions? How do you celebrate Christmas?
I do it by eating a big old turkey every year.
Okay.
That's about it.
That's it. And you have a Christmas tree? Do you decorate?
My wife loves Christmas trees. She got them upstairs, downstairs. Too many trees.
Too many of them.
Yes. But Uncle Henry, I'd like to, while John is in my presence, to thank you for you entertaining me in your business, in your boardroom, and seeing the game that you had killed. And I thought about it, and I met your wife at one of the football games.
Right.
So I still want to thank you for inviting me out to your place.
Well, thank you for coming, and thank you for all your gifts. You know, every time Freddie would come to the office, he would bring gifts. I've got the, the rounds from the SEC championship.
Right, I remember that.
And the posters. And
Freddie, the day that you showed up at John McNeil's business, I think it was the happiest day that I'd never seen John McNeil so happy.
It was great. A celebrity walked in.
That you came in and did the show there at McNeil Aaron's Lambert. That was that was a great day for Uncle Henry Show history, allowing people to call in and ask you questions.
Good. That was my first radio appearance anywhere, and I was so well accepted. That's why I want to thank him, not behind his back. I want to tell him to his face that I appreciate that.
Okay. So to your face, John McNeil.
Well, I appreciate it, too. You know, we're going to stay here all the way through 10 o'clock, but I wish we could be at the conference room with the fire. All week long, we've had the fire going in our conference room.
This is every other time this year. This was one of those years. It waited until actual winter.
Right.
Only
the fireside chat I was looking forward to, but we'll just stay here.
Yes. And by the way, today is day one of winter. I believe today is the solstice.
Right. And it's going to be 77 degrees for Christmas Day.
That's great. We needed it after yesterday and the last couple of days. We need some heat.
Yes, indeed. I want to say good morning to those that are watching on Facebook. Angelo, good morning to Angelo, who brought in the great weapons yesterday. Also, Scotty White of Bay Minette, Alabama. Sharon is watching. James Eubanks is watching. Alec Armbrecht is watching. Thank you to all of you that are watching on Facebook. Hey, don't forget the CW55, you Facebook people. Turn it on, the CW55, or at least tell your TV to record it. You can erase it later. We just like to get credit for it being on your television. And still waiting on Idell Hamptonson's email. She's probably putting a lot of thought into her email. Now, Norman, are you here through Christmas?
I am. I'm here for one more week.
Okay. What do you do when you're in town?
I hang out at the house. A lot of projects, helping my mom out.
Oh,
and
okay.
My dad. And then I try to reconnect with some high school friends. Everybody has busy lives, but I try to reconnect with them. Shout out to the UMS class of 84.
UMS class of 84, a shout out. We'll be back in a moment with more on the Uncle Henry Show.
The Christmas tree hanging from your rearview mirror, and the tangled mess of lights
Another tangled mess on the inside
that are in front of you. Avoid the snarls with traffic reports on the 9s. Every morning, News Radio 710 WNTM.
Save the date. Saturday, February 11th, Wind Creek Hospitality presents the 4th annual Joy of Life Mardi Gras Ball to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Host the table at the ball and get access to Dolphins VIP room with gourmet hors d'oeuvres and top shelf bar. For more info, visit joyoflifegulfcoast.org.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute.
Christmas could come to Wall Street a few days early if investors send the Dow to 20,000. They missed that mark by about 12 points during yesterday's trading, and the Dow finished the day off that level by about 25 points, although bank shares had helped the Dow notch gains of almost 92 points. Right now, S&P and NASDAQ futures are down about a point. Dow futures are up 9. The biggest gainer on the Dow yesterday, shares rose almost 2% as investors saw the world's largest sports brand post a profit last quarter and ease their worries. Nike is hearing footsteps from Under Armour and Adidas. Restaurant chains have been talking the R word this year, recession, but maybe we just want delivery. Shares of Domino's Pizza are up 45% for the year. Papa John's shares doing even better. Both offer mobile ordering apps and technology that can let you order from Facebook or Twitter. That's helping insulate the big pizza chains from the shift away from eating out. I'm Joan Doniger, Bloomberg Radio.
Hey, you've wanted to do it for a while, but now are you finally ready to get a home theater system for your man cave or your family room? I'm Uncle Henry. Let me suggest a locally owned and operated company. It's TSI Alarms and Audio. TSI has years of experience in quality home theater design. They can professionally install your current audio and video equipment, or they can help you select television, audio, surround sound components that will fit your needs. And the size of the job doesn't matter. TSI will design your home theater around your budget, helping you get the most for your money. And it doesn't have to be just one room. TSI Audio can provide you with a complete system that will allow you to control the sound in multiple rooms throughout your home with just the push of a button. And you've heard of smart home technology? Ask TSI how they can help you with home automation. Call TSI at 251-662-04. And we're back on the CW55. Dare to defy, dare to live your life. Here with John McNeil, McNeil Aaron's Lambert Financial Group, along with Freddie, Freddie's Family, Skylar, and Norman. And we're all looking forward to as much college football as we can consume. Freddie, are you going to go to the Dollar General Bowl?
I do have tickets, depending on the weather.
I'm not surprised. Freddie, you seem to have access to just about everything that goes on in our city.
Not really. I don't know how to get into a bank.
Oh.
Perfect.
All right. Well, but when it comes to sporting events,
that's a horse of a different color.
That is. But so you do have to. But you're not sure if you're going to go to the Dollar General Bowl.
I love supporting activities like that. The Godfrey peoples are tied up with that bowl game, and they do wonderful things for this city.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it is a shame. Mobile has never been a city that has supported a lot of things, unfortunately.
Yes.
And so I applaud you for wanting to, and we try to do the same thing, support anything that goes on, because the bowl games, America's Junior Miss are Young Woman of the Year now, and, you know, just Azalea Trail Maids, what a controversy that was. But, you know, it's just, there's so many things that that have come and gone because Mobilians didn't support it.
We need it, you know, and you know, our mayor is bringing ice rinks to towns, skating parks. You know, that's good, but we need some things for adults can do. Downtown is coming back. I live in the downtown area, and we do have a lot of adults coming downtown, spending money. We need to make the city a little safer, and I know the chief and the mayor is probably trying to work on that.
Yeah.
So we do have our faults, but we have so many beautiful things to see around this city.
A lot to be thankful for.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. Well, stand by. We're about to rejoin radio here.
Tonight, a mild night. Probably see fog return around daybreak on Thursday with a low near 50.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
Uncle Henry Show.
I love it, Uncle Henry.
Blue Christmas by request, as John McNeil is requesting his favorite Christmas songs. Well, just one, Blue Christmas.
Without you.
479-2723 is the telephone number, or 251-479-2723 if you'd like to talk to me or John McNeil or Freddie. Longtime caller Freddie is here with his family in the studio for Christmas. Let's go to the email inbox. Subject line on the email is Roll Tide Unk. Email reads, good morning to everyone there at the Double Nickel. A motley-looking crew, I must say. Dare to defy. And, of course, Roll Tide Roll. Is Ariel there? Did Freddie ever get that water bill situation resolved? And how come Freddie's never run for mayor of Mobile? And that email from 59-year-old Chris in West Loxley, who adds, P.S., Roll Tide, Roll beat Washington.
When is Chris's birthday? Because he's been 59-year-old from West Loxley for a while, hadn't he?
It's been about a year. Well, I can't remember. I'm sure we'll know. There's no way he would let it go by without us knowing. But Chris, thank you for your Roll Tides. Let me return your Roll Tides with this Roll Tide. Roll Tide, roll. And an additional Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll.
Now, the Freddie run for mayor, and yes, Ariel is here. We checked in with her, and Ariel, if you could just show yourself on camera, because people want to make sure you're here and that you're well. There she is!
And she's got her dreads back on. She put her dreads back.
Yes, she did, for Christmas.
For Christmas. I love it, Ariel. You need to come into the studio. Yes, and look at that. She's very festive looking.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
For a vegan.
Well, she had meat. Look,
yeah.
She had meat. Norman, are you a vegan?
No, I like all foods.
Okay, very
but I
good.
do watch what I eat, though.
Okay, well, obviously, you look like you're just a picture of health.
Like Mary Poppins, you look like you're practically perfect in every way.
Wow, we're getting references I'd never dreamed we'd get. Callers, keep trying. We'll get to your calls as soon as we can. All right, now. The question, so Ariel is here. The water bill, you mentioned Freddie's water bill. I'm not going to do a close-up of it because I don't want to give away his personal information, but he gave me a personal copy. John McNeil also has a personal copy of Freddie's water bill so we have multiple water bills. He wants to know why you've never run for mayor, Freddie.
It's hard for an honest man to win anything.
Oh, whoa! Whoa! It is hard for an honest man. Okay, so did you ever think of even council, city council?
No, believe it or not, Uncle Henry, our present mayor, I've never met him. And then, I know politicians in the city, but I never met him. I met John Sparkman, Howard Heflin. I got a picture of him one time when he was in town. And, I go way back to some of the old politicians of the city, state, but being a runner, no.
No, but you've got a base of support from the guys around the tree.
That's true.
That could springboard you into the council. You've raised the children, you've put them through college, and now you've got time to sit on the council.
No, because your phone is ringing 24/7. Who can I call to pick up my dead dog? Who can I do this? I don't need that.
So you don't want to get the calls about dead dogs in the middle of the road?
Potholes? You name it.
Well, when I've talked to city council people, they've told me that the majority of their phone calls are about garbage cans and things like that. So that would be irritating.
That's true. And who can I call to tell my neighbor not to let their dogs do their business and don't pick it up? That's one of the problems I have.
Yes, you have called in about people that allow their dogs to mess in your yard.
It's much better.
Oh, it's gotten better?
Yes.
Okay, very good. We had that situation in our neighborhood with a young guy in his 20s, a millennial who was outraged at dogs coming into the yard and using the restroom in his yard.
You have a lot of millennials. You live in a very young neighborhood for the most part.
For the most part. And I had to try and calm the guy down because I thought if you're going to get that upset about something like that, life has some punches for you on the way. Well, I'm glad things got better in your neighborhood.
Thank you.
Okay. We are here. if Freddie, you're going to stick around for the next hour?
Well, I got these kids, but as long as they want to stay, I'll stay.
Okay. So, well, there are a lot of people that don't have the initiative to be up this early.
I'm glad to see the youth can get up this time of day, you know?
Well, now, I don't know how happy Skylar is about all this. I don't know how happy she is. We're gonna have to quiz her in a moment and find out if she plans to return to Mobile. Are you in Mobile? Are you living in Birmingham?
I'm in Tuscaloosa as of now.
In Tuscaloosa.
I have no intentions on living in Mobile.
No intention of living in Mobile.
No, it's too slow.
Well, unless a
Mobile.
job
Oh,
offer
my
comes
goodness.
through in just a few minutes. I mean,
All
people
right.
better jump on the email for a job offer.
All right, we know
for
what
Skylar.
we're gonna have to get her on microphone in the next hour because Skylar has declared, shockingly and controversially, that Mobile is too slow for her to live in. So we'll have to find out. Maybe she can offer some tips on how to speed up Mobile, Alabama.
Well, she's lived in the greatest city in the country for the last 4 years, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You know, so trying to compare to that.
Well, I can see how you'd get spoiled living there. You've got the national championship team, and you're within just a few minutes of Moundville. So,
Highway 25.
Highway 25, yes, one of the worst driving experiences I've had in years. I didn't really believe the state was broke until I drove down Highway 25.
My son and I was traveling that route, and we was in those log truck tracks.
Yes,
And you rock
yes.
and roll till you get there.
Yes.
And it's we came up on a little town, you know, at Ferndale, whatever.
Fonsdale, yeah.
They had a cow in the road when I had to stop at the Shell station to tell somebody to get that cow before we kill somebody in the middle of the road.
Yes, life in Alabama. We'll be back. We're going to take a brief break for television. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the TV viewer. Radio listeners, we'll be back right after the news break on the Uncle Henry Show with John McNeil of MALFinancial.com, and the Freddie family is here.